Coming off a challenging week for us, obviously, these last two games. I think our guys have responded really well in practices. And again, I've always said this, that win or lose, we're going to keep our head down. So we're going to look to improve every day. That's something that we've done since day one here. And unfortunately, we're coming off of two tough losses. But again, we've got back at it and ready for a very difficult game with North Alabama. Coach Pujols is a very good coach. I know him well. I really respect what he's done with this program. Their team, they're a very good team. I've watched them play all their games this year. They have 6 wins. They went into Auburn and played really well there. So we know what kind of difficult game this is going to be with us coming off of these 2 losses.
Over the last few games, Reed Cason's numbers have started to go, or his minutes have started to go up. How is he kind of fitting into that front court? Because it still seems like it's not totally established as to who.
No, it's a great point. It has not been fully established yet, but I think Reed is definitely, those 3 weeks he missed were pretty big, because if you remember back, but prior to him being out, he was starting to play. And beginning of his freshman year, he missed the summer, remember. So for him to even playing 2, 3, 4 minutes early in the season, it was on track for him to be a guy that would have been in the rotation in the front court. Then he misses 3 weeks, and so we just had to restart all over again. And I think that's the only reason that it has not been stabilized in that front court quite yet, but love what Reed's doing.
What do you notice from North Alabama on the field?
Just how good they are defensively, creating turnovers. They're talking about a top team in the country, causing turnovers, steal percentage, scoring off of their defense. Then on the other side, their ability to take care of the ball. Jakari Lane is as good of a point guard as we've seen. He's dynamic. He can get in the paint. He takes care of the ball. He sparks their defense with steals and them turning teams over. So their ability to get into the paint on offense, their ability to score off their defense, and their ability to turn other teams over is something that's a real concern for us.
They fit that A-Sun mold, right? Kind of mature guards. As you mentioned, they feed it in well. How do you think that matches up with your team? Because you guys are definitely more physical and more mature at the guard position than you were a year ago, which is really saying something, because you guys have really progressed there.
I think the matchup is the matchup. I think every game you have these 2-3 days turnaround prep time. South Carolina and North Alabama are 2 totally different teams. And South Carolina sitting there with the front court, 6'10" and 6'10" and big, and they play in the half court. They play slower style play. Now we go North Alabama, tempo, fast. They shoot the ball quick. They take care of the basketball. They got guards that are dynamic getting downhill. So as far as the matchup goes, I think this is just non-conference play. We hope that our experience of our guards can handle that, and hopefully there's something that we can cause some challenges for them at the same token because of that.
Coach, you saw Jan Farrell get going at South Carolina. How hopeful are you he can get it going behind the arc?
Yeah, we need it. Unfortunately, we've had some good games where we've shot it better than others, but consistently we're not shooting the ball where we think we're capable of, and he's a big part of that, meaning the better he shoots it, the better we think it spaces the floor for everybody, which creates better shots for other people. It's hard when maybe just 1 or 2 guys on the floor are shooting it the way you want, because then the court tightens up. But when he's on the court and he's making shots, what ends up happening is it opens the courts up for other guys to get good looks.
Your first true road contest. Looks like the guys responded. You mentioned the shooting wasn't there, and that really was the only difference it seemed like in the game. Their threes fell, yours didn't. You guys matched them physicality. I think Grady said there was 11,000 people there. So how do you think they responded to their first true road test?
They responded very well. We were up 11 in the first half. At one point, they had 9 points with 7 minutes and 47 seconds left in the half, on pace for about a 15-point half. I thought physicality, defense, we did the job in terms of the way we responded on the road. The difference in the game was clearly the 3-point shot. Their ability to make threes, they made 12. Our inability to make threes, we made 4, ends up being the difference in that game. Defensively, we like what we did, but they made shots, give them all the credit. Offensively, we still had really high numbers in the paint. We were executing our offense. The one unfortunate thing was we didn't shoot the ball well, and they shot it very well, and I give them credit.
With exams wrapping up and this last few weeks before conference play, what are some of the finalized goals that you want to see through the end of this month?
One thing that we have always done here is we don't just all of a sudden change how we practice because we win or because we lose. So all the fundamentals of what we do, the quote-unquote basics, the fundamentals, we do those every day. You guys can flip your cameras right now and you can see we're working on that stuff right now. We're going to work on the fundamentals every day. and then we're going to take our schemes, what we do, and we got to get better at them. There's never a time that we feel like our schemes have reached the pinnacle. So we got to keep working on them. We got to be better on them. And then there'll be certain adjustments game to game, like this game, understanding, hey, the way they attack the ball and look to create turnovers, we better spend some time in practice understanding that and working on that. But we're going to continue to practice. We got to do what we do better, and that will always be our mentality.